Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam. Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Monday, December 12th, 2022. And I just want to name that I've been doing good with the date for about 5-6 weeks now. So if you watch daily, you understand my smile, because there were days when the date is sitting right here in front of me and I get on and say, good morning, welcome to the Java Cafe. Today is Tuesday. So anyway, I pat myself on the back and celebrate my own wins. It is Monday morning. We are just one day before the 12 days of Christmas. And speaking of Christmas, it looks kind of Christmassy, if you will, outside. Today's weather is calling for sun about 10 a.m. Our highest degree today will be, I believe, 33 degrees. So we are truly in winter, but we're supposed to get sun about 10 a.m. We had our first snow last night, and I really don't think about the snow. If you live in Boston, that little dusting we had last night, not even an issue. The number one thing I saw online, though, some of y'all don't know where your snow scrapers are. And for those of you that have it hidden in the trunk, among a bunch of other stuff, you need it this morning. So I saw a little bit of chatter about that on Twitter this morning. Let's go in the Java Cafe and see who's in. Dr. Brandy is not going to be with us this morning, but we're going to be very intentional over the next today and next week, talking about a healthier me in 23. And though I'm not a clinician and Dr. Brandy isn't either, she is trained in that clinical space. But your boy today is going to try to facilitate a conversation around being healthier in 2023. But before we get that started, let's go in and see who's in the Java Cafe this morning. Opal, good morning. Good to see you in the room as always. Sharon Cornelius. We'll see you tomorrow evening at 6:30. You'll get that email later. Tasha Carrington, good morning. Tasha, how come you ain't singing? Anyway, good to see you in the room. I'm going to get in trouble. I missed something yesterday. I should see you. Oh God, I can't believe I missed it. I got an invite to a play yesterday. Didn't put it in the calendar. Anyway, I'm going to have to hit that sister up. Nicole, good morning. Good to see you in the room this morning. Tay, good morning. Tay, did you call me? Text me and let me know. Good morning. Good to see you in the room. Mama Java, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Sister Debbie, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Tashad, Boston While Black is in the building. Looking forward to seeing my brothers and sisters this weekend. Heidi Lewis, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. I thought about you when Dr. Brandy said she wasn't coming in this morning. I had all intents on talking about football. I mean, I am going to try to watch the game tonight, but good morning to you, Heidi. Good to see you in the room. Also, Bah Humbug, hate snow of any kind. Good morning to you again, Heidi. Dr. Drumright from Tennessee, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Pastor Marion, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Nicole is saying, is it wrong that my life is so busy that I still haven't put my Christmas? I'm not going to judge you, Nicole, but my Christmas tree has been up for Thanksgiving. It went up the Friday after Thanksgiving. What was that, 2 weeks ago? So my tree's been up for 2 weeks. Tashad, chicken and biscuit. Where is chicken and biscuit? Yes. Tashad, don't rub it in. I was supposed to go yesterday and I sat here Oh, I got to hit that sister up and ask her to forgive me, and then figure out a way to making it up to her. Tasha, definitely the services this Sunday. That's what made me think of something I was supposed to do yesterday. Pastor Marion, forget you. That's what happens when you turn 50. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes about our intellectual health, or there's mental wellness, but then there's intellectual health as well. Tay, again, good morning to you. Tashad, thank you so much. My complimentary comp ticket was for yesterday and I missed it. So, Nicole and Heidi, y'all better go and put a tree up. Heidi, get a poinsettia and throw some lights around it, throw a couple of bulbs on it. And I mean, a couple of balls, Christmas bulbs on it, and do that. Do that. Quincy, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Where are we at for New Year? Brother, I don't know. I've been thinking about it. The last 2 years, 20 to 21, 21 to 22, we have been here in a virtual space for New Year's Eve. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, and that will influence what we're doing here in the Java Cafe, if anything. But Quincy, I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. Rena, good morning. Aha, intentional self-care. Good to see you in the room. Heidi, well, we are glad that you put a wreath on the front door. Tashad, good morning to you again. And she is saying that's the real question. What's going on for New Year's Eve? Thaddeus, uncle, good to see you in the room. Y'all are going to rub this in that I really missed this play yesterday. I'm going to get in so much trouble. Charlotte, good morning. Good to see you in the room. She's saying good morning to the Java family as well. And Tashada is saying I want to go somewhere warm for New Year's Eve, but them flights. Listen, I had all intent and purposed in myself to be somewhere warm for Christmas. Now, can Jesus still pull off a miracle in these next 12 days of Christmas? Yes, he can. But as Tashad said, these flights and hotel, though I can tap into some of them points, but I got 5 nights. If I stay at a Marriott property 5 more nights before the 31st, Thaddeus, your boy gets up to Platinum Elite. And so I'm not really sure of all the perks that come with that, but y'all pray that I can figure out 5 more nights so I can get that status. But anyway, to more important things, Heidi, they are talking about the play Chicken and Biscuits that's playing. Oh God, I'm so aggravated. I missed this. Pastor Marshall, aka Pastor Pistol, as we got to know him in 2020. Good to see you in the room, brother. Charlotte said her tree is up. Good morning to you again, Charlotte. Miss Teresa, good morning. Good to see you in the room. 1,300 to Florida. Tell me that's a first class trip. That is crazy. Mother, can you stay at the one? Ma said, well, can you stay at the one in Boston? Them Boston prices are crazy. I'll find some little Marriott affiliate out in one of the W towns in Woburn or Raynham or something and get me a little $89 a night for staying there. But anyway, just some fun to check in with you guys this morning. Yes, Tashad, Chicken and Biscuits is playing at Martin Theater at Suffolk University downtown. And so I can't believe I forgot that play this morning. Listen, that was one of the things that happened this weekend. The other thing that happened late last week, or a lot of chatter this weekend in national news, Cinema. Is she a congresswoman, representative? Cinema, out of, I believe, Minnesota, is switching her party to independent. Now, her and Manchin have been thorns in the Biden administration's flesh to some extent. And it doesn't surprise me that she moved like this. I believe it was a power grab. It doesn't really have that much impact on, I believe, the House, how they move. However, it was also revealed yesterday that in the primary, she was going to have a contender. And I believe it's a woman of color. And so I believe, haven't done a lot of deep digging into this, but That was all over the news this weekend about her making this power grab and how it's going to influence the Biden agenda and things like that. So pay attention to that. And I saw some chatter on Facebook as well. And somebody pushed back and said, well, what does that have to do with us here in Boston and Massachusetts? When they're voting in the House and Senate, all politics are local. A lot of their legislative decisions have a big influence on what's going on with us. Canceled student debt, things that are going on in healthcare, things that are going on with gun laws. So we do need to pay attention to national politics. The other thing that's going on, both unfortunately nationally and locally, I got a text from the wife last night. She said, hey, checking in on you. They're shooting right up the street, right down the street. Two separate incidents. And so as the holidays are coming, we are just encouraging you, family members, aunties, uncles, that know that you have family members and loved ones that are participating in this violence. Say something. We're in the process now trying to figure out a way with the nation and 10,000 feelers that if there are people that want to turn in a gun, they can turn it into them, get it over to law enforcement with no questions asked. One of the number one concerns that I have is that, we need to be sure if, quote unquote, there's a body or bodies on that firearm, we got to get the guns off the street. And so there's a lot of conversation there about how we handle that. But just keep in mind that share with someone that you may know, and most of you in here by presumption, but from what I've heard from a couple of folks on the street, some of our church kids are involved in some of this, raised in church, ushered, sang in the choir. Life happens. So if you're aware and know or have any influence on anybody that's dealing in violence and in the game and whatnot, say something to them. That pain that they felt when their boy died or a family member died, ask them, do they want that? Do they want to deal with that feeling themselves? So just again, on a national stage, but also locally, we need to really pay attention to that and pray for those that are dealing with loss. Again, whether it's from the pandemic, COVID, whether it's from violence, natural causes, our seniors. We've said this before and we'll say it all the way through. This is the first for many. My aunt and them are dealing with the first of losing their dad. So continue to keep the Winston, Washington, and McNeil family in your prayers. Also, in a little bit of entertainment and national news this week, Harry and Meghan dropped their tell-all on Netflix. I have not watched it yet. I believe the second set of episodes is coming out tomorrow, so I probably will check it out in the next couple of days. But from what I understand from the reviews, I also heard that Harry and Meghan were told not to come to King Charles's coronation, like they would go anyway. But has anybody checked out the Netflix Harry and Meghan yet? If so, give me some thoughts down here in the comments. Let's go back and check in the comments. Don't forget, today is Mental Health Monday, and so we're getting ready to actually do it now. Do two things for me. One, if you watched Harry and Meghan's special on Netflix, give me your thoughts. Two, separately, put one word for how you're feeling today. We're going to check in for Mental Health Mondays, and then we're going to do a little quick lesson, a little talk around how we get to a healthier me in 23. Auntie Java is in the room. Good to see you in the room, Auntie Java. Heidi's going back to the flights. Comfort Plus on Delta is $1,300. Now, I'll be honest. Comfort Plus tends to be I coach, call me whatever, bougie, uppity. I can't. This is Thaddeus's fault. Once you do that first class, Comfort Plus is okay. But even when you're sitting in Comfort Plus and you're 2 seats behind first class and they're going to give them all the wonderful service, Comfort Plus is $1,300, Heidi. That means that first class is like 16, 17. Yeah, I'll be staying my happy self right here in Boston. Heidi, thank you. Cinemas from Arizona. Thank you. Thank you. Pastor Marion said in reference to cinema, are you surprised Mansion is next? I don't, just the two of them. At the end, both of them did, for the majority, vote towards Biden's platform and what he was trying to do during the pandemic or the end of the pandemic and with the Build Better Act. But they are very interesting. Pastor Marshall, absolutely, all because of the challenge that is coming from within the Democratic Party. She's definitely on the run. Auntie Java, not just to say something, offered to go with them to turn it in. Also, my son would tell that church people were in the club. So, of course, the gun is his. Yep. So the thing, Auntie Java, if I understood you right, not just say something, offer to go with them to turn it in. The thing about going with them to turn it in is it brings that person within law enforcement. And I'm not clear on what the process would be if that minister, street worker, youth organizer turns that in and just say, hey, I got this. We got the gun off the street. And so I don't know if that would definitely be the case. I believe that there is some follow-up from these folks with the young people. Just a side note there aren't a lot of avenues for a lot of these young men, some young women, to just pick up the phone and say, yo, I'm tired. Come get this. I'm done. There's not a lot of avenues where they can do that. And so that's a need within our community. But Auntie Java hopefully got some clarity there. Back to cinema and politics on a national level. AOC is under. So I saw that, Miss Teresa. And they said in the story that it's not any particular indictment of anything right now, but they are looking into her. Exactly, Teresa, as you said, the second part there, they're not giving any details as to why. So interesting. Leslie, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Also see you tomorrow night at 6:30 as well. Look out for that email. Pastor Marion, auto accidents are up. Please, Bostonians, drive carefully. Now, not to be insensitive to those that are just having accidents, but when it rains and when it snows in Boston, if you've lived here for over 3 years, why is it an issue? This is what we do. I don't even think about going to the store and doing what we do in Boston when it snows, unless they're predicting 6 inches or more. From what I saw this morning, it wasn't even 2 inches, if that. The most thing we'll have to do is clean off the car. But folks, please be careful. Auntie Java is continuing to pray for the Winston and Washington family, as many of you are as well. Thank you, Leslie. I'm with you, Coach. No can do. Netflix flick is next. Heidi is saying, problem is I won't see my mom again for Christmas. Haven't been there since 2019. So Heidi, you all send love and support to Heidi. If you all know Heidi, she loves her mom very, very much and loves to go see her and was ripped when she got up out of here. So Heidi, hopefully everything will work out where you can get down there, or maybe she surprises you and come up here. Nicole, to your point of the potholes. Yeah. It when I first started driving again the end of last winter, I'm just like, these potholes are crazy. And so we have to understand the last couple of years, not that many people were on the road. The plows are out there just doing what they do. Not as many people out, not as many complaints. And then now, but again, what happened to the Winston Washington family? Ma, we was just mentioning them at Ma, are you watching? No, I'm messing. We are mentioning them. As I mentioned, it's the first for many families. The other thing I wanted to mention that this weekend, and some of you may have seen this, and I will try to get it up on screen real quick. Where is it? Let me get this up for you all. Some of you may have seen it online. Others have shared it, talked about it. Let me just get in here. Okay, there we go. So, Saturday morning, I got a text that said, hey, just wanted to let you know the article's out. A couple of weeks ago, I got a text from a reporter that said, hey, we need your bio and your picture, can't say as to why, and just ask for it. So Saturday morning, I get the link, and this is what came up on the link. Largely due to a lot of what we've been doing here. And so the title of this article is Meet Boston's Power Players 22, written by Steph Solis and Mike Dean of Axios Boston, a national publication that has a specific focus here in Boston, is DC, a couple of other places as well. And so why it matters: Boston changing landscape means new voices are emerging and some are finally getting recognized. Somebody told me, they said, James, your voice ain't new, you old. These influential individuals are shaping our city. The methodology: we selected these power players using our own expertise, polling readers and conducting interviews with influential people. I texted to Uncle Thaddeus and said, I'm sure you knew when they said influential people. I'm like, he was probably one of them. To this queen, the number one on the list is Nia Grace. She is the owner of the Darrow's Corner Bar and Kitchen, but also the owner and the host that opened her doors to us for our first Java Cafe at the Underground. And then if you scroll up to number 2, here's your boy. So I'll share that. Matter of fact, I can share it right now. Copy, paste. So the link is in there. Please feel free to post it and share it with any comments that you would like. But no, I am really humbled by this. I reached out to Stephanie and thanked her yesterday. So that was something else that happened over the weekend. So just wanted to mention that. All right, let's go in for the next 15 minutes or so and do check in. What is your word that describes how you're feeling today? My word is content. I spent the weekend really, and I've seen this meme a couple of times, and it really stands out to me now. A lot of people take the weekend to rest, to catch up from the week, and then come Sunday night, and everybody's like, let's take our weekends and work on how we can make our weeks better. So the weekends are not as anticipated. And, you know, when we get to Sunday night and we get to Monday, we're like, so my word is content, because I mention this name a lot, and who cares? So whatever. He's the uncle and my boy, and I love him. Thaddeus recommended a book to me called You Owe You by hip hop preacher, as he's dabbed, Eric Thomas. And I'm only up to chapter 6, I believe, and 7. I haven't got to chapter 9 yet, Uncle Thaddeus. When I tell you that this book is changing my life, little bits and pieces of things I've heard throughout the years, he encapsulates them in this book. And so I spent this weekend, I went and did laundry, y'all. And I'm not going to tell y'all that I haven't done laundry since April. Let's just say that I got stock in Hanes, Fruit of the Loom, Calvin Klein. I was sitting there yesterday putting the stuff together, coming out the dryer, and I'm like, Lord Jesus, this is a shame. Long story as to why. Everything is cool, but just, we'll talk about that later. All right, let's get into Juice. What's up, brother? It is a great book. Let's go in and check the words this morning. And Misha, thank you so much. Love you, sis. Heidi, don't do that. Father would be very proud. He would also arrange that he'd be on here once a month without saying, like, James, I'm coming on third Sundays. Matter of fact, come by the church and you'll record from here. I don't know how to do that. Bring that thing up on there. Anyway, Heidi. All right, let's get into the words for Mental Health Monday. My sister Tamisha is saying exhausted. Mother is saying blessed. Leslie said she is ready for, ready is her word. Auntie Java, you go, boy. You were told, yes, ma'am. In a sweet space. Good to hear that, Mom. Heidi said she is rested. Sister Debbie said she is rested. Pastor Marion said she is rested. Okay. Just added to my to be read list, Tashad. This book is, and I've been listening to it on Audible. I'm going to go back and read it because there's certain parts in there I want to highlight that stands out to me. It's definitely a good book. Auntie Java said her word is paste. Laundry services available, saves time. Laundry service is almost expensive as those daggone flights. And I'm old school. Ain't nobody doing my laundry. And I'll be honest with you, doing laundry is cathartic for me. It getting there yesterday, first of all, getting to the machines, because everybody was fighting to get to the machines, timing each machine. So you got a few minutes gap between the machines to get the stuff in the dryer, setting up the dryers in a manner that you got about 10 minutes to lay the stuff out, because I don't fold at the laundromat. That's just too long. I lay it flat, fold it, put it in the bag, come home, fold it, and then put it away. Can I ask another question while we talking about laundry? And Quincy talks about this often. Why do we do laundry, get it cleaned and dried, and sometimes it sits for 2 or 3 weeks? Don't judge me. Y'all know y'all have done it before. All right, let's get back to the word. Oh, Jesus. Thaddeus got a word in here that I might need to look up to make sure I can pronounce it right. Tashad said her word is chilled. Charlotte said, I am good. I spent my Sunday night doing homework. I know not what rest is on the weekends. Try to get rest all 7 days as much as you can, Miss Charlotte. Being a full-time student, photographer, a mom, a wife, a healthcare organizer, that is a lot. All right, Thaddeus said, my word is prodigious. Prodigious. Hey, Siri, what does prodigious mean? Siri said you stuttered. Prodigious. Uncle Thaddeus's word. Let's define that real quick before we go into our talk this morning. Thaddeus, you're causing amazement and wonder. Wait a minute. The second definition, extraordinary in bulk, quantity, or degree. And Thaddeus knows why I'm laughing, because we've been talking about our health lately. So when I see this second definition, extraordinary in bulk, quantity, or degree, prodigious. We learned a new word today. And if you've known me for more than 15, 20 years, sitting in a meeting, having a conversation, use a word I don't know, excuse me, I want to increase my vocabulary. Can you tell me how to spell the word and give me a definition of it? So thank you. We added the word prodigious to our vocabulary today. All right, Uncle Thaddeus, I appreciate you. Sister Rena said she is feeling creative. Don't forget, folks, if you're looking for last minute Christmas gifts with care, Sister Rena is able to talk with you, hear about the person for whom you're ordering the basket, and you can get a wonderful custom-made basket from her. Hit her up in her inbox and make sure you do that. Auntie Java said planning the laundry day. She's also saying good morning to Uncle Thaddeus. Dina, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Thank you for text. Dina invited me to her church yesterday. Donnie McCarkland was there, a couple of other people. And so I went and visited for a few minutes, but I'm going to go back and watch it online later. They had a Christmas special. I forgot the name of the church. Brown's Baptist, I believe, Dina, is the church. Heidi said that she is feeling impressively great. And thank you for helping me, Pastor Marion. Prodigious. That is the word for today. All right. Dr. Brandy's not here today, and I really wanted us to get into a discussion about a healthier me in 2023. And the 3 areas we're going to cover is how do we define healthy? What is the relationship or correlation between our physical and mental health? And then I'm going to ask you guys to join me in sort of a quick assessment. And so very quickly, because it's 9:32, I did some research and looked at medical news today and found out that they are referring to the World Health Organization's definition of health. The word health refers to a state of complete emotional and physical well-being. Emotional can be substituted with mental wellness, mental health, but being healthy, you see the correlation there. The word refers to a state of complete emotional and physical well-being. Goes perfectly into our second topic. Is there a relationship? And we've talked about this often on Your Healthy Java, before Your Healthy Java, with mental health experts like Toy, Naisha, others that have been in the room, where we talk about the relationship between our physical health and our mental health. There is a relationship, there is correlation between the two. And as defined, again, this is a excerpt I got out of Harvard Public School of Health. Yeah, public. Anyway, good health is central to handling stress and living a longer, more active life. In this article, we'll explain the meaning of both good health. I didn't need that last part in there. So, good health is central to handling stress and living a longer, more active life. There is correlation between the two. Oftentimes, we've talked about stress and how it wears on the body. This article actually goes a little deeper into the fact that, let me just get this back here, even more deeper into the fact that Naisha brought this up in one of the sessions we had on Your Healthy Java, that stress sometimes impacts your gut health. And we know that our immune system is impacted by the gut. A lot of people say that our immune system lives in our gut. You have good gut health, you have a good immune system. If you're stressed and dealing with anxiety, that is not a good impact on your health. Also, exercise can help relieve stress. Exercise can also help with things like depression. Exercise can help you sleep. I'll be very honest and transparent. My goal, one of my what's after therapy last week and reading this book, Eric Thomas talks about the what. Well, my therapist first asked, like, what do you want your life? Have you described what you want your life to include and be like? And I'm like, some general things: be healthy, be financially set. But she was like, have you ever thought about the exactly of the what? What do you want to get up and do every day? What does that look like? And then she challenged me to talk about why not. But we're going to get into that in a few minutes. And so it is imperative that we be intentional about our what. But one of the most number one things that everything else plays on is your health. And you see in that definition a few minutes ago, World Health refers to the state of complete emotional and physical well-being. And so we've said often that we got to get away from saying mental health and physical health. I think Dr. Alabre said a few weeks ago, mental health is health. And so emotional, we talked about emotional intelligence that can be classified under mental wellness. All right. There are also some ways in which that we can assess. And very quickly, I want to ask you to just take a few moments and review some of those areas with me while I talk about them for a couple of seconds here from this article from Harvard. So one of the first areas, and we talked about it right here, is physical. How is your physical health? Are you getting physicals once a year? Are you getting your eye exam once a year? Are you getting your dental appointment once a year? If you have a history of cancer in your family, are you getting screened? Ladies, are you getting screened for breast cancer? Men, are you getting screened for breast cancer, colon cancer? How is your physical health? The other area, it says intellectual in the Harvard article, but your mental health, your intellectual, all of these are contributors to our overall holistic healthy lifestyle. What are you doing? And I said a few minutes ago, there's the mental wellness, but in this intellectual piece, they go on in the article, and I need to give at least credit to the author since I'm using his article. His name is Matthew Solane, executive editor at Harvard's Men's Health Watch. And so when he talks about intellectual health, he says, are you doing enough for your brain? It is so easy to get trapped in the lull of repetitive activities that don't work your memory and problem solving. Learning something new is a great way to challenge your brain. For example, learn to play bridge, paint, or play a musical instrument. Interested in a particular subject, take a class at your local college. Many offer free tuition for adults. You can also raise the bar on existing skill. Do you love to cook? Challenge yourself to cook. And so when we talk about intellectual or mental wellness, that isn't just with that thing of peace, of self-care, but take a different route to work. Challenge yourself to do something different. And I've heard this before, your brain can get locked into systems that don't challenge you. So if you take the same route to work every day, if you do the same thing that you do when you come home, and routines, a habit, and habits are good things. I'm trying to develop better, more healthy and routines and habits myself. But in this intellectual health piece, do crossword puzzles, learn how to crochet. I don't know. For those of you that aren't as savvy on the internet, learn more, how to navigate the internet, learn how to build a web page. I won't say social media because that might be a what do you call it? Sunken place. You don't want to get caught up there. And so that's something that we have to think about. And as Pastor Marion said to me a few minutes ago, when you get over 50, you definitely need to do new things to keep your brain challenged. So another piece is social. This one, given these past 2.5, almost, we are real. Let's be honest. In early 2020, when we first started learning about COVID, we did hear that from that convention it was here. And they thought that there were traces of COVID that were here in November, December of 19. So we've been in this thing for 3 years. And when you think about social health, you can't help but to think about the level of isolation that many of us have dealt with over these past 3 years. I was transparent with you all the other day. During COVID, I was fine. Y'all would not believe that if I had to give a preference, I'm more of an introvert than I am an extrovert. My gifts and my skills and my talents make me an extrovert, but I was okay for the most part during COVID. The impact of the isolation I'm dealing with now. After this show, I can't stay in this office for more than 25 minutes. I can't articulate as to, I kind of know why. I was in here a lot during COVID. There were a couple of things that being in this office that I was working on during COVID that didn't pan out, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But getting back to the point of social, we are sociable people with family. And so this is a part of our overall health. Do we have healthy relationships? We got 2 more components. I'm going to let you go in a couple of seconds. This one here. Let me tell you something, Linda. I do, but many of us do not realize the impact of our finances on our overall health. Again, finances aren't doing well. I'm in my 4th quarter in the midst of some stuff right now, hanging on, and making it. Thank God for help from some folks, a couple of folks. But if one of the people said to me, you haven't been able to think straight since you discovered, your 4th quarter. And I was like, yeah, because when you're thinking about stress, you think about your home, you think about rent. If you have children, you think about their desires, especially this time of year. I've seen posts from random people reminding you all as parents and family members, do not go broke trying to express your love in a material thing for Christmas. Maybe a little judgment there, a little value statement there. But I'll take that risk of saying I'm judging you or making a value statement rather than hearing about 6 months from now, your credit card is in debt $5,000 and you're only making a $45 a month payment. Finances are a big part of our health. The last one is spiritual. Now, in this platform, we believe in, practice, allude to, have prayed from a Judeo-Christian belief system. However, some people don't ascribe to that. I believe that we are made up of 3 parts. A lot of people say mind, body, and soul. I choose to say we are made up of body, soul, and spirit. There is it kind of lends to the social piece where our morals and where our how we love and who we love, that is a kind of spiritual thing. And we need those spiritual supports. A lot of people that practice Christianity, Jehovah's Witness, they go to the mosque or whatever. Oh, I said whatever, like, was that New York or Boston? It just didn't come out right. A lot of that stopped. And though there is some benefit to the virtual space, there is nothing like the ability to hug. There's nothing like the ability to shake Uncle Thaddeus's hand and grip him. I talk to Uncle Thaddeus all the time, but the other day I got to grab him in and pull him up. There's nothing like that socialization, but also for those of us that have a spiritual belief system, for it to constantly be fed in a communal. We are communal, sociable people. So that's my little overview of how we stay healthy. Remember, the word refers to a state of complete emotional and physical being. Now, let's give ourselves grace. When you see that word complete, don't wind up being too hard on yourself. Some of us aren't complete in it, but as long as we know that we are doing our most to work towards that, that book that I'm reading right now, You, I'm going to stop mentioning his name before y'all start hating, but Uncle Thaddeus got me together last week around a couple of things and recommended the book, and it has been really good. And he keeps it very honest about some of our mentality that comes from a lot of places. But he also talks about our gifts and recognizing them. And so, not complete, but at least be working on something. All right. What I'm going to ask you to do between now and next week, I need you to get a piece of paper or go back, or I'll put them in the comments. Physical, intellectual, and wellness. Let's add that there. Social, financial, and spiritual. Write down those 5 words and leave space, or you can write them in a row and then go under. Under physical, intellectual, social, financial, and spiritual, write these down. And then also give yourself a grade. You don't have to do it now. You have until next Monday at about 9:25 a.m. Give yourself a grade. Really think about how you're maintaining and trying to better maintain your physical health. What are you doing to challenge yourself intellectually? How are you focusing on your mental wellness? How are you doing socially? Let me just park right here. I've seen the pictures, and I've got a little relaxed with my mask and whatnot. Thank God, ain't caught nothing. But numbers were almost at 8,000. Friday, I think I saw a notification from the Boston Globe. The flu is out there. RSV is out there, mostly impacting children. Side note, next Tuesday, we're talking about RSV with Massachusetts General Hospital. So anyway, let me get to the other area, financial and spiritual. So give yourself a grade in all of these areas. And by next week, I want you to write down a few reasons why you gave yourself that grade. If you gave yourself an A+, write down why. If you gave yourself an F, write down why. And over the next week, think about the grade and the why. Why did you give yourself that grade? When you're thinking about that why, by next week at 9:25, next Monday, for every why, think of 2 ways you can address or change the why. What is keeping you from being, and when we talk about finances, let's say better steward. All of us can improve. I found out this year that when I do projections from a business standpoint, pay close attention to the actuals every month versus what you projected in January. You ain't checked and you get to October and it's like, ooh. So that's one of the reasons why I will probably, from a business standpoint, give myself like a C- in financial. Now, I'm going to also write down ways that I can address them, both personal and business, but it's been more of a business aspect with the finances this year. All right. So that's it for A Healthier Me in 23. This is a 2-part series. Dr. Brandy will pick up with us next week. But just to recap, these are the 5 areas that can give you a good indication of where you are in your overall health: physical, intellectual, social, financial, and spiritual. And again, going back to this definition, the word health refers to a state of complete emotional and physical well-being. Let me go in. Oh God, there's 44 comments. All right. So next week, 9:25, we need you all to get, and you don't necessarily have to share, but have your piece of paper with you. And we're going to talk with Dr. Brandy about it next week. She doesn't know it yet, but we're going to talk about her. All right. Uh-oh, we gotta okay. Let me catch up here. Jesus, y'all okay. All right. I think a good spiritual help. Oh, Jesus. All right, I'm going way back up here. All right. I remember I left off with all right, Miss Teresa, I loathe laundry, and that's bad because I love to anyway. Health is a continuum. Absolutely. Dina is reminding us that Brown Missionary Baptist Church in South Haven, Missouri, Missouri. Y'all pray for me. I did take geography in Madison. Leslie is saying there is a correlation between physical and mental health. Miss Leslie is saying if you say you are sick, you are. Absolutely. Pastor Marion, good spiritual health will keep you physically and mentally well in your being. Miss Teresa, okay, that one there. Miss Leslie, I used to have asthma. I didn't claim asthma and it left. But Miss Leslie, I want to also challenge and ask you, did you start doing something different? Did you start walking? If the doctor told you that certain foods induce your asthma, did you stop eating those foods? Did you intentionally, and you probably don't do this anyway, but if at one point in your life you smoked, did you stop smoking? Are you more intentional about being around non-smokers? Are you more intentional about air purifiers? That just, let me take it to the word. Faith without works is dead. And though in the connotation where that scripture was written, it was talking about having the faith and understanding of salvation. And without the work of accepting it, it's just dead. But that's a whole nother Zoom in itself. We use that scripture out of context a whole lot. But I'm going to take literary host privilege and say, I'm sure you did more than just say it. I think it was John Lewis, and I don't know where he got it from. But after you pray, you got to move your feet. And in this case, it probably included some walking and getting. I'm not going to get in trouble. I love you, Miss Leslie. My hair comes out when I'm stressed. That's a huge indicator. One of my family members deals with that. When they're stressed, it doesn't come out, but they get a lot of breakage right in their crown. That's an indicator of stress. Miss Teresa, depression is also the cause of various body pains. Absolutely. Though when we are stressed and dealing with anxiety, our body produces chemicals. Where do they go? That's why when we're talking about trauma, we tell people to drink water and pee so you can flush out your system from those toxins. Auntie Java, an old African proverb, all things are linked. The intersectionality that we have with one another, along with mental and physical and spiritual health and financial health. Miss Charlotte, I was reading about how our approach to health from a state of being well or being ill. Having good health or being healthy is a continuum and not on two ends of the spectrum. There has to be balance for optimum wellness to be obtained. We could have used that definition this morning, Miss Charlotte. Word scramble games for 30 minutes per day can help with memory sustainability. Miss Teresa, thank you. Learning a new language is one. I seen my girl Elaine Alquist on Twitter. She's learning a new language and posted all the hours she spent, new words she learned. That is a good one as well. Miss Leslie, we are an extraordinary people with many gifts, some untapped. I'm not even going to go there before Thaddeus be beating me up. We got to do better at tapping into our greatness. Absolutely. Tashad, woo, child, that financial. Listen, financial health is up there with intellectual and physical. Shoot. Anyway, that is sharing with us. I do PIES checking. PIES is an acronym for the four energy areas that fuel our personal ecosystems. It stands for physical, our physical body, as well as physical surroundings, tangible items that we can experience with our senses, intellectual, our thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and ideologies, our headspace, emotional, our feelings, our moods, our intuition, our heart space, spiritual, our spirit, our deep motivations, our drives and ambitions. That last part, our gut space. This is good too, Uncle Thaddeus. I need to pin this. That fourth quarter time, Tashad. Woo, boy. I learned a good lesson this year. Auntie Java just said, just tested negative. 2 of my 4 people I was around last week tested positive. We're keeping them in prayer as well. And we're glad that you're good, Auntie Java. Auntie Java says gifts can be purchased throughout the year. Don't go broke just to celebrate Christmas. Get back to the real meaning of it. Absolutely. To the point I was making in the finances piece, that don't go broke out here buying all these gifts. Now, as much as I say that, I'm going to behave. Tashad, that part right there. I like the pies. I like the pies. That is good. Drop the book details, Java Book Club. It is called, hold on, because y'all know I'll bring it up right here. UOU. Asia, this thing. All right. This is, and I don't want to, I'm not advertising one particular platform because Amazon ain't wrote a check yet. But in order to get the information, I'll go ahead. So this is the book that Thaddeus referred to me. And when I tell you, it has been a blessing in my life. I'm doing the Audible just as I'm walking around or cleaning or whatever and listening to it. And have I told Alexa to back up a couple of, if you say the word Alexa, Alexa will answer. Have I told Alexa to back up and I've listened to a couple of chapters over again? It's that good. So Tashad, definitely check that out. It's something good, either for the Java with Jimmy book club, as you will, Asia, or if you will rather, and also Boston While Black as well, because I seen Sheena put out a poll about what books to read. I think that is it. So I've gotten away from it by the fact that we're doing better. And though we don't hear this word as much, y'all know we're in the middle of herd immunity, right? Through vaccination, through breakthrough cases, through people not being vaccinated and getting it. And so 7.85, as we said, that public health officials don't get concerned until we get up to a 2.5. We're at 7.85. Now, where we are with herd immunity, the issue that comes with these higher rates, of course, is people not being healthy, but due to treatment and other things, along with COVID, there's hospitalizations. My boy on Twitter said this is COVID-3, not the flu, but we got COVID, we got the flu, and then we got RSV. And hospitals, I think the color of Massachusetts was not that bad. I just noticed on CNN last week. Charlotte, that's interesting. Y'all, please don't get me to a point, when I say y'all, I mean just society, that I have to go back to the COVID numbers and all this other stuff. And all right. Heidi says she got that new booster on Friday. Conchetta said, keep up on the boost. Auntie Java rather said Conchita. Keep up on the boosters. All right, it's 9:56. That's why I'm stuttering. It's time for me to get ready to go. Thank you, Dina. MS is Mississippi. What is Missouri? MI. Montana is MN. I told y'all I took geography at Madison. Oh, poor Hansel. Miss Teresa, they are double E's, not Hansel and Gretel. Poor babies. We need a Java book club. It's at it's at because I'll go get it. Well, I can do it on my Kindle, but I didn't know there's a physical one. Definitely go to Frugal and support Frugal. Independent bookstores only. Absolutely. Rather than, as I said to Shad, I'm using Audible. But anyway, all right. Y'all are getting me together on these acronyms. So Missouri, Missouri is MO, Mississippi is MS, Minnesota is MN. Was that Montana? Anyway, thank you all for listening today. Tomorrow morning, we are going to have the legend, the great woman herself, who is going into her 50th year in organizing the Boston Carnival. Mrs. Shillingford is coming back to the Java Cafe, as I shared with you all last week. I don't think I posted the... Obviously, I need to brush up on my state acronyms. Thank you, Miss Teresa. MI is Michigan. Well, what is MN? Montana, Minnesota. I know, Tashad. There was a lot of conversation around carnival planning, new leadership, working in some of the old things. And so it is going, Dina, thank you. Minnesota is MN. All right. Y'all found out today that this 50 year, maybe that's one of the projects I need to do to raise my intellectual health. Print out. I used to know them all, but 50. Anyway. All right, folks, I'm really going to get off of here now. Thank you all for tuning in today. Miss Schilling for tomorrow. On Wednesday morning, we're going to have the Massachusetts Health Connector here with us. Also, Wednesday at 9:30 a.m., Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley will be with us, along with Chaplain Tina Sherry, to talk about the survivors of homicide and Victims Awareness Month. And so Congresswoman Pressley will be with us on Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Mass Health Connector at 9, Ayanna Pressley and Reverend Chaplain Clementina Sherry at 9:30. And then on Thursday, you're stuck back with me, Just Jimmy, for Thankful Thursdays. All right. Thank you all so much. I know ME is Maine. Let me see which ones I could do. Maine is ME. NH is New Hampshire. VT is Vermont. RI is Rhode Island. MA is Massachusetts. CT is Connecticut. NY is New York. PA is Philly. PA is Pennsylvania. OH is Ohio. VA is Virginia. NC is North Carolina. SC is South Carolina. WV is West Virginia. I don't know. WA is Washington State. OR is Oregon. CA is California. NE is Nevada. IH is Idaho. IW is Iowa. All right. Y'all ain't put a whole bunch of corrections up in here yet. So anyway, yeah, that's what I need to do. I may need to go back and relearn the acronyms for the state to get my intellectual health in a better place. All right, for real. I'm done, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in today. We went a whole hour today. Thank y'all for being here. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Remember to make it a great day. Keep an eye on your mental health. Check in on family members. Check in on community and just say, how you doing today? Ask them. Go up to your coworkers and text somebody and say, hey, describe your mental health in one word. Let's check in and see how we're doing. All right. See you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Peace.